Good morning, CAA Hoops fans. Semifinal Sunday is upon us. Mike Litos from CAAHoops.com. I'm Bobby Broyles for the CAA Court Report. And Mike, the drama is building. We had a great quarterfinal action yesterday, especially with the nightcap between Georgia State and George Mason. 4 teams left. What do you expect today? Let's first begin with Drexel and Old Dominion.
Yeah, the crescendo yesterday was something else, Bobby, and that it's going to be amped up today, not just to 10, but we're going to turn it up to 11 today. Drexel ODU. When you think about these two, Bobby, you think rock fights. You think heavyweights. You think Daryl McCoy, 270 pounds. You think Chris Cooper, 260 pounds, banging it. But Old Dominion, Bobby, played what could be called a beautiful basketball game yesterday, knocking down threes, getting out in transition, really upping the pace yesterday for Old Dominion, and Blaine Taylor actually wanted to play faster. So I think we may see a more offensive game today. Franz Massenat for Drexel, Bruiser Flint didn't get exactly the game he wanted out of his star point guard, but he got just enough. We described it yesterday as a lava flow victory for Drexel. They just kind of slowly overtook UNCW throughout the game. So I look for a game probably a little bit more offensive than defensive than we would expect, and I think it's going to come down to making shots. That seems very simplistic, Bobby, but at the end of the day, it's going to be somebody knocking down threes because these teams can play a lot better offense than people think.
And how dangerous has Kent Bazemore been this past month for Old Dominion?
Well, we're seeing exactly why Kent Bazemore was named the preseason player of the year and was named first-team All-CAA. 37 points, 12 rebounds in the last regular season game against Drexel. They played the one-point game down at the Ted Constant Center. Bazemore has that explosion back. He just did everything yesterday for Old Dominion, really reining in the defense, picking a few thefts, scoring. He had 3 in a row of those rise and fire jump shots, that he loves to get off from about 15 feet. So, containing Kent Bazemore will be key. But, again, I think we're going to go back to Bazemore and the guys playing off of him. Dimitri Batten knocking down threes. If they can get Dante Hill into the lane, that's going to be a big differentiator in this game.
Following the Drexel and Old Dominion game at 4:30 will be part 3 of a rivalry that has been very intense over the past month, Mike. George Mason and VCU with a lot on the line.
Yeah, third time these two teams have played, Bobby, since Valentine's Day. Each team has one game in the hole, and it's funny, when you think about these two teams and you look at all 4 teams, and historically how they play, you'd think Old Dominion Drexel is going to be the rock fight, and VCU Mason is going to be the game that's up and down and offensive. And really, I think it's going to be flipped today. Both teams are great with the ball pressure, especially from their guards. Of course, we saw Shaka Smart's Havoc really overtake Northeastern in the middle part of the second half, created 28 points over an 8-minute stretch that really put the distance between them and Northeastern. VCU, Bobby, 20-0 when they score 65 points, and 20-0 when David Hinton checks into the ball game. So just a little tidbit to look for in Shaka Smart's substitution patterns. Yeah, going deep into the stats, having some fun. But it's if George Mason can get Sherrod Wright off early, he was non-existent in the first half last night. Really gave them a lift against Georgia State in the second half in that game, and really was the key to their victory. So I think what we're going to look for here is a lot of pressing, a lot of trapping, probably a lot of turnovers. That favors VCU, but you're going to have to convert off those turnovers. And George Mason, with their ability to shoot the basketball from all 5 possessions, has the advantage there. So, I think we're going to end up, as you might imagine, with a 1-possession game with about a minute to go. It'll be fun to watch these teams shoot free throws late.
What do you expect from the CAA Player of the Year, Ryan Pearson? We didn't get to see him much yesterday. What does he have to do today to get back in that groove?
Well, this is where Players of the Year have to step up and play the way that got them to that honor. Ryan Pearson, a non-factor in the first half, got into foul trouble in the second half. Paul Hewitt said coming into the CAA tournament that he was going to keep Ryan Pearson from talking to the officials and kind of getting him out of his game. But I think that's Ryan Pearson's game. He was talking with the officials, kept up the running conversation, but that's Ryan Pearson. I think when the lights are on and the big time is the big time, you'll see him come up big time.
Well, a lot on the line today on Semifinal Sunday. George Mason VCU, that's at 4:30. Remember, action begins at 2 on the Comcast family of networks. Check your local listings. We'll be here tomorrow to preview the championship game.